Hey, I'm Katy. This is my service learning project. I named it the Free Smile Giveaway as a reminder that smiles are free and we should be giving them away more often. To get us started, I'd like to give you a little bit of background information. First off is that this project took place in fall of 2020. And at that time, we were about 6 months into the COVID pandemic and schools had been shut down in my community. And then also Hurricane Laura had a deep effect in my local community of Lake Charles. So I've been a youth leader for quite a while. And so I decided to reach out to some teens that I already had a relationship with just to kind of check in and see how things were going. So during my check-in, I basically named this my needs assessment, and what it was a very in-depth conversation. I reached out to 9 teens who I already had a relationship with, and I just had a full conversation about what was going on in their life, how the pandemic had affected them, how the hurricanes had affected them, how family was doing, how school was doing, and it was just a really tough year. So I wanted to just figure out what was going on with them and what they needed in their life. So what I learned is that the teens that I spoke to, they all needed to reconnect with friends. They missed their friends. Social distancing was tough and just online learning was really difficult for them. They needed their friends. So from whenever I started pulling this together, what I decided is that I needed to create a COVID safe environment for these youth kids to be able to meet. And I wanted to be able to get them out in the community. I wanted them to help serve the community and to be able to have a project together that they could invest in and work through together. So for my methods, I chose to create 3 separate events. For our first event, we called it the planning day. On this day, I hosted a group of teens at my house and we wrote words of encouragement. We had discussions about how words of affirmations feel to give and receive, and we started writing these down and we called them woes. After this event, we decided to go out and challenge our friends and family to go ahead and write some positive affirmations as well. So with this event, we had decided to put together that we wanted to go out and serve the community and we were going to create some COVID safe bags. So I challenged each of the teens to go out and pick up some donations. And for our second event, which I called the prep day, at this event, each of the youth kids showed up and they had brought their donations. We collected 1,500 masks. We had over 400 words of encouragement, 250 mini sanitizers, and over 500 sets of gloves. So on the prep day, we put all that together in some lunch bags. And from there, we made arrangements to go and crash a local food giveaway. At this time, my community was hurting from the hurricane, so there were many food drive giveaways. And our idea was that we were going to go crash another organization and just go bring smiles to them. So for our third event, for our party day, we arrived and helped a local community food drive giveaway, and we handed out our COVID bags. And we cheered, we danced, we had a great time, and we just encouraged the community. So we used our words of affirmation. We were verbally giving them to people and physically giving them through our COVID bags. So whenever it comes to my results, I wanted to focus on the rate of participation because I feel like that shows that the teens that were involved with this were enjoying what was happening. And they liked the project and they continued on. I had 55% of the teens continue on through all 3 events. And I feel like this is a high number because everything that was going around us. It was very difficult to gather people from COVID, so we had to take extra safety precautions. And then in addition, there was massive damage and there were safety concerns and people not living at home and having to transition their housing. So there were a lot of moving factors. And then lastly, we were also coming into the holiday season. So that in itself is already just a really busy time. So by maintaining 55% of participation, that told me that the teams that were involved with this project, for the most part, were interested in staying for the long haul. I took feedback at each one of the 3 events. I got 100% positive feedback. And since the conclusion of this project, I've had at least 3 teams reach out and ask when they were going to do this again. And 2 parents have contacted me asking what do they need to do to get us ready to do something like this again. So this was a very positive experience for everybody involved. So at the end of the day, I was able to challenge a group of kids to put their minds together and their personal resources together and go out and serve a hurting community. So each one of these teens had their own hardships, like we all did in 2020, and they were able to forget about what was going on with them and pay it forward. I found that so endearing and so beautiful, and I feel like this had a major impact on me personally, on the parents involved, on the youth involved. This was just a very positive event for everybody. And lastly, if you'd like to hear some more about this project, I have a personal academic portfolio. It's at kayakqueen.wixsite.com/my site. I've also included a link to my teammates. We all have created our academic portfolios, and we are gladly sharing those with the world from this opportunity. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope it's a great one. Bye.